Boom, what is up guys? I'm going to teach you how to write your very first program in the Solidity programming language. Ye old customary hello world. Now I'd like to preface this tutorial series and this video with the fact that Solidity is a very unique and specific programming language, and it really just serves one purpose in life. You guys are going to learn about that throughout the series. However, I'll save most of that for other videos because this one is about just writing your first program, or rather smart contract in this case, in the Solidity programming language. But I do want you guys to know that because Solidity has a very unique use case and it only really serves one purpose, a mindset shift kind of needs to take place when programming with Solidity, or in actuality, programming smart contracts with Solidity. So as you guys see on my screen, I have an IDE pulled up in a browser called Remix, okay? And you guys can go there in your browser by going to remix.ethereum.org. If you're starting to program with Solidity, this is a powerful enough place to do it. I know it sounds weird to program with an IDE in your browser, but trust me, it'll make sense later on, okay? So once you get the site pulled up, first thing I want you guys to do is notice here in the File Explorer, make sure that's open, where it says contracts. Well, go ahead and click that contracts folder and click create new file. And I'm going to name this file hello.sol. And that's because .sol is the file extension for a Solidity file. And that file should be open. Now you have your blank hello.solidity file. The first thing I want to do, guys, is I'm just going to paste in here this MIT license comment. This is going to sound stupid, but just put the comment in there, okay, guys? Yes, you can compile and run your Solidity code without having this license comment in there, but it's going to give you a warning. If you ever use it or need to use Solidity for something real later on, it's going to just cause problems. In case you ever need to come back and remember what this license comment is, you can just go to Google and just Google search Solidity MIT license comment, because you'll forget about it, trust me. So that is the first thing you're going to need when creating a smart contract. The next thing you guys are going to do is you're going to want to go ahead and write the pragma statement. And what is that? This pragma statement at the top, this just defines, or rather tells the compiler what specific version to use. And in this case, if you guys check in your IDE, the current one that it has selected right now is 0.8.18. So we're going to go ahead and use that version. How do we do that? Well, you just need to type pragma, P-R-A-G-M-A, Solidity, and then 0.8.18 semicolon. You can do a couple of things with this. You can actually specify multiple, and it's not really multiple, but you can specify more than one version, but it's common practice, or it's good practice to specifically pick one. I know. I'm going to explain to you guys later on. All right, just chill. So now that that's done, now we can actually write some real Solidity code. Now that we got that, we're going to go ahead and create kind of the shell of our contract. And how do we do that? Well, we're going to use the contract keyword, C-O-N-T-R-A-C-T. And one thing to note, guys, now we have to name this contract, but the name needs to match the file name that you have. And yes, it's case sensitive. So in this case, our file name is hello.sol. So I'm going to type capital H-E-L-L-O, open close curly braces. And boom, there you have it. You have your first Solidity smart contract. There's nothing in it, but technically you got your first contract. Now, how do we get to the hello world? What I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a string variable, and I'm going to do that by using the string keyword, because Solidity is a statically typed language, string. And then I'm going to use the public keyword, public. Now I'm going to name this variable, and I'm just going to call this variable message, and I'm going to set it equal to hello world. All right, so now we have a string that once we quote unquote deploy this smart contract, this string theoretically should get stored on the blockchain. And if we need to go interact with this smart contract, because this string is public, we should have access to see that, and we should be able to pull this string, hello world, from it. Now, how do I go and deploy this thing to a blockchain? Well, that would require us to burn actual Ethereum. Actually, but we don't want to do that. And luckily for us, inside of Remix, we have the ability to go and deploy things to a pseudo blockchain that's going to be a kind of testing environment for us, so to say, in our browser. But first, let's just go ahead and compile this guy to make sure it works. All right, compiles. I would suggest putting auto compile on. Oh yes, and also to go ahead and get to compiling this, you need to click this little Solidity compiler button here on the side. Next, in order to deploy it, let's go ahead and click this deploy and run transactions button. All right, and so next, remember I told you guys we're not going to deploy this to a real blockchain. Well, if you guys see right here in this environment drop down, there are a couple different options. Just make sure you select Remix VM with the merge right there. It should be auto selected. Have that guy selected, and then you can go ahead and click deploy. Now notice how the account balance over here that was 100 now says 99.99999. That's because it just burned some of your fake Ethereum to do that. Once that's deployed, if you scroll down here, you will see deployed contracts. This guy shows up, and it's going to have a little drop down. Now it even gives us the address of the contract itself, because yes, contracts are going to have an address. Don't worry, we'll get to that later. What I want you guys to do now in order to test this is to go ahead and click that drop down. And when you scroll down here, we can see everything that we can call from this smart contract that is now deployed to a blockchain. And what do we have to call? Well, hey, there's that message variable. There was a string up there. Let's click it and let's see what we get. Ah, yes, we get a nice old hello world string response back to us. Boom, there you go. Congratulations, you are now a Solidity guru. Hope that helped, guys. Smash the like if it did. I'm out. See ya.